the fastest? Okay, Arav is quick. He's got a pen and paper. That's nice. Or a pencil and paper. Okay. A pencil and a paper. Okay, great. We'll wait 2 minutes till everybody comes. So let's take Ikhlas. Ikhlas, why are you here? You're yawning. You had a late night, Ikhlas? Okay, now you can. What brought you to the session today, class? Did your parents force you, or you wanted to come on your own?
I didn't know what the class was about, so I wanted to join it.
Oh, you don't know what the class is about?
Like, I don't know what we're going to be learning about.
So why did you come, you know?
Because I wanted to learn something new.
You wanted to learn something. Okay, good. So it's not your mom or dad didn't force you to come. Where are your mom and dad? Are they around? Okay. Okay. How old are you in class?
I'm 13.
13 years. Okay, that's good. I think you might be the oldest person around here. Okay. Okay, great. It's 12 o'clock. We can start, or you want to wait, Ayush, as you say?
Yeah, I believe let's get started. And, yeah, I'll quickly introduce the series and you to our audience, and I hope they'll start pouring in by the time we really get started with the content. So, hello everyone. A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to everybody, to the children, to the parents, to Yogesh. Right, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the third edition of Swiflearn's educational webinar series, where we intend to keep you abreast with the latest from the education universe. Now, the webinars are an attempt to inform the participants about new ideas and concepts from leading thinkers and educationalists from around the world, including conventional time-tested methodologies, as well as new age views on how to best bring up children. The topic for today's webinar is making kids money smart. And as our speaker, we have the very talented Mr. Yogesh Chabria. Yogesh is a #1 best-selling author and the founder of the Happionaire Way, a global initiative to help people discover their inner greatness and lead fulfilling lives in all areas. His transformative programs and seminars have benefited leaders at Fortune 500 companies, IITs, members of the European Parliament, TEDx, entrepreneurs organizations, members of the royal family, and people from all walks of life in over 100 countries, from students all the way up to billionaires. And you can find out more about him by also visiting the website www.happionaire.com. And he has, I think personally, I mean, and the little chance I've had to interact with him, it seems he's himself led a very fascinating life of his interactions with money. Started making money at the age of 5 years, and it's something that I'm thrilled to find out more about. And I'm very excited as he will share some great tips, I'm sure, for both the students and the parents. And also, before I hand it over to Yogesh, I'll just quickly 1 second. Can I request everyone to put themselves on mute? Or Madhur, if you could do it for us. Yep, thank you. So now the way we'll keep the webinar is that we'll begin with Yogesh sharing his experiences, as and when any one of you have a question that you would like Yogesh to answer based on questions you may have from before or those that come up during the course of the conversation, you can simply key them into the chat box and we will be picking them up as we go. So we would like to keep it like an open discussion rather than like a lecture per se. And I hope you all have a great time along the way. And now, without any further ado, over to you, Yogesh.
Okay, thank you so much, Ayush, for the beautiful introduction. Hi, guys. How we will do it? We will use the chat because I would love to hear all of you, but if everybody speaks, it becomes a little crazy. So I want all of you to type in the chat how old you are and which city you're from. Come on, type in the chat. If you have your parents around, you could tell them. But I think all of you are kind of how old you are and which city you're from. So, we get a good feel of things. 11 and 7. Arav, yes, I saw. Okay, you're from Dubai. Okay. Must be very hot in Dubai right now. Must be summer. 14 from Chennai. Okay, great. So today, before we start, oh, Dhaka. I have been to Dhaka, Jewel Rana. It's a beautiful city. Though the traffic gets a little in Dhaka, but it's a beautiful place. Varanasi. Okay, we have people from all over the world, in fact. 15, Faridabad. Okay. Today, what we are going to do is, I believe, time is the most precious asset we have. You can make money, you can lose money. But time once gone is gone forever. So since all of you, I am grateful to all of you for investing valuable time. All of you, me, all of us are putting in our time. So I want you to make a commitment. Are you guys ready to make a commitment? Type yes in the chat if you're ready. Okay, from all over. Dehradun, my wife's family is from Dehradun. It's a beautiful place. Okay, Chavi is ready. Say, yes, I commit. I want all of you to make a commitment. Say, yes, I commit. And the commitment is, if anything I share today, you like it, you think it makes sense, you will take immediate action. You won't let fear hold you back. You won't let anything hold you back. You will take immediate action right now, right today. If there's something I share which doesn't make sense, you don't have to take action. I believe all of us have freedom of choice. I don't believe you should obey elders. I've never believed that, because some elder could be telling you something that's wrong, right? So you got to use your own intelligence. You got to use your own mind. And I believe all of us have been gifted with intelligence. But if there's anything you feel, what Yogesh is saying makes sense, you got to take action right now, right? From Kuala Lumpur, we have Ajinkya from Kuala Lumpur. Okay, great. So change comes when you take action. Now, today our objective will be to help you get rich. Is that something you would like to be? How many of you would like to be rich? Many times, schools, does any of your schools teach you to be rich? Any school tells you, we want to teach you to be rich? You got to be rich. Yeah. No, right? But they never taught us. They never said, and they considered it something, you don't want to speak. But I always wanted to be rich, right? It's a beautiful feeling, and not just in money. Rich in health, rich in love, rich in knowledge, rich in relationships, rich in joy, rich in every way. So that is going to be my objective. Yes. How to be rich, right? So who here wants to be rich? Say, I want to be rich. Type it in the chat. Commit. Okay, I'll share a bit about myself, where I'm coming from, which will help you understand, and I'll also share a few strategies, and you can feel free to ask questions anytime in the chat. You don't have to wait till the end. Kamya, Jewel Rana, all of you, right? Devanshri, okay. So my family, we want to be rich. I like that, Vian Bajaj. How old are you, Vian? I can see you, I think, Vian Bajaj. There I can see you. That's right. How old are you, Vian? I like that. I want to be rich. That's amazing. I love that. I'll tell you. So I was my grandparents are from Sindh, and some of you might be knowing about Sindh. Some of you might be knowing about the Sindhi community. Some of you might not be knowing. So what happened is partition happened. Sindh is currently in Pakistan. It's a region. It's the Indus Valley civilization, 10,000-year-old civilization. I like that class. Richness is important because it reflects your state of living and also represents the habit you have learned in your journey to richness. Yeah. That's so beautiful. So beautiful, class. So, partition happened, and my family, they had property. They had horses back in the day. They had gold. They had land. They had a lot of wealth, material wealth. They had a lot of it. But suddenly, partition happened, and overnight, they had to leave everything there. And they had to come to India. So nothing. They could get nothing. Just the clothes they have. They ran for their life. They came to India. So growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. How is it that Himanshu and Vian are typing the same message? And Chavi, what, are you guys copying the same message? What are you guys doing? You don't have to copy messages. Why? How come all of you? How come all of you are typing the same message? Tell me the secret. No copying. Why are you? Okay, don't copy. You guys are copying a class. Is that what you guys are doing? Okay. When an idea is good. Okay, great. Be yourself. You don't have to copy anybody. So anyway, so my grandparents came here. So growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. And I believe I'm lucky I was not born rich. And I'll tell you why. You know, because when you're not born rich, when you don't have everything given to you on a plate, you work harder. You use your creativity. You use your mind. You have a lot more fun. That's a beautiful thought. You want to be rich to help poor kids. That's beautiful. Khazina. Khazina means wealth, I think. Khazana, like khazana. Is that what it means? But so I remember one day my grandfather called me, my dada, we call him dada. Treasure, yes, khazana means treasure. That's right. Yeah, your name is a rich name too. So one day my grandfather called me and stop copying, guys. Himanshu, stop copying. No copying. Where is Himanshu? I can't see Himanshu. Where's Himanshu? Okay. Copy if it's a good thing, that's okay. But you can write it in your own words. Do it, copy in your own way. So I remember my grandfather once called me and he showed me two pictures, right? The first picture he showed me was of Lakshmi. Who is Lakshmi? Can somebody tell me who's Lakshmi? Type it in the chat. Who's Lakshmi? So he showed me a picture of Lakshmi. He asked me, Yogesh, what do you understand from this picture? And I said, this is Lakshmi ji, we pray to Lakshmi. Goddess of wealth. She's the goddess of wealth. Exactly. She's the goddess of wealth. Exactly, Arav. She is the goddess of wealth. You're right. I said, we worship her, we respect her, that's it. Nothing more. In Diwali, we pray more to goddess of wealth. That's nice, Shavi. You want to take care of your grandparents. That's beautiful. Yeah, she's the goddess of wealth. He says, what else? I said, I don't know. He showed me another picture. This was the picture of Saraswati. Who's Saraswati? Tell me, guys, who's Saraswati? So I say, yeah, we worship Saraswati, we respect Saraswati. If by mistake we touch our feet to the books, we do this. We respect. She's the goddess of knowledge. Exactly. She's the goddess of knowledge. Knowledge. So we respect knowledge. He said, no, there's something symbolic, Yogesh. There's something symbolic. I said, Dada, that's grandfather. I don't know. So he says, if you look at Lakshmi, that is the goddess of wealth, representative of wealth, right? If you look at wealth, she sits on a lotus. And this is symbolic. This is from 10,000 years ago. She sits on a lotus, and a lotus is not permanent. If you have a lotus, if you have money, you can build a beautiful villa in the middle of a desert. A lotus shines, there might be marshy water around, but it's beautiful, right? But at the same time, if one frog jumps on the lotus, if one wind comes, what happens to the lotus? It disappears. He says, look at us. We had so much material wealth back home in Sindh, but overnight, we lost everything, right? We lost our land, we lost our horses, we lost our gold, we lost our businesses, everything we lost. So material wealth is not stable. It is not permanent. Material wealth is not stable and permanent. This is very important. If there's one thing you want to learn from today's session, if you realize this will change your life forever. And the second thing, the traditional Chavi, if you look at the traditional image of goddess of knowledge, Saraswati, she sits on a rock. The traditional one, she plays, she has music, she has a, sitar, she has books, all, music is a form of knowledge, books are a form of knowledge, all this is a form of knowledge. She sits on a rock. He says, if you invest in Saraswati, that is knowledge is stable. And practical knowledge, not some, sometimes I have a lot of, with the conventional educational system, they teach things that are not practical many times. They teach things which are not practical many times. I'm talking about practical knowledge that you can implement in your daily life. For example, when I was in school, I never understood why I had to learn the log table, logarithm. I never understood that because I was not interested. Somebody else might be interested, but if I'm not interested, why did I have to learn it? I always had this thought in my mind, I did not understand trigonometry, So everybody's unique. I'm not saying that's not a good thing, but not everything. It's like a fish. If you force a fish to fly, the fish will die, right? A fish is supposed to swim in water. Similarly, every human being is different. But anyway, so he says, invest in practical knowledge that you can use in your daily life. Exactly, she plays the veena, dance, music, all these are forms of knowledge. And he says, if you invest in knowledge, you will automatically attract wealth. And if you look at today's world, I've always followed this. I've constantly invested in knowledge, practical knowledge which I can use. And that's what changed everything for me, changed my life. And today you look at everything. Right now we are using Zoom. Do you know the value of Zoom, which you're using, is worth more than all the airlines of the world combined? Can you believe that? And what is Zoom? Is it the property? It's just the knowledge. It's the knowledge you're using. Video games. What is a video game? Video game is people coming together, creating something out of knowledge. It's out of their minds, right? Does that video game have any buildings, physical buildings? No, it's all there. And today, if you invest in knowledge, you can change everything. And then once I realized this, I remember I was born in the 80s. I was born in the 80s, and in the 80s, India was a closed economy. You wouldn't get anything. So today, if you want to buy something, you can go on Amazon and buy it, right? You want to buy something, you go on Amazon or Flipkart and order it. Isn't that so? So like Ikhlas wanted those headphones, or Deep Mala wanted those headphones, probably went on Amazon, got it, you get pretty much everything. But back in the day, India was a closed economy. We were close to the communists, the socialists. So, you wouldn't get everything. And I believe when there are challenges, there are opportunities. Every time there's a challenge, it's also a gift. A challenge is an opportunity to learn, to grow. In school, they teach you failure is bad. Don't they teach you that? The teacher scolds you when you fail. Yeah? Do they don't scold you? They scold you when they fail, of course. But in life, you learn by failing, my friends. How did you learn to walk? Ask your mom, ask your dad. I have a son, he's 4 years old. We learn to walk by falling. None of you learn to walk the way you walk right now. You fell. Imagine if your mom or dad told you, it's bad to fail. You would stop walking. You learn to talk by practicing. When you started talking, when you started talking, none of you spoke like that. You blabbered. You say, aga, giga, gugu, giga, gugu. Didn't you do that? Everybody did that. I did that. Today you see me on stage, you see me with Dalai Lama, you see me speaking to so many people. I stammered, I spoke that way. Imagine if my parents had told me, Yogesh, you're no good, you failed. So failure is a beautiful part of learning. Never be afraid of failing. It's a learning process. Enjoy it. You learn something from it, right? So I remember, my parents back in the day, to get a TV, you had to wait for a year or 2 years. To get a phone line, you had to wait for a year. You wouldn't get a TV in India. You wouldn't get a phone. We didn't have washing machines. You had to wait. So what my parents did, my dad had a job, but problems are opportunities for people who are small. Every problem is a beautiful opportunity to do something better. Wealth gets created when you solve problems. You want to make money, solve problems for people, help people out. So what my dad did, he went to people in the neighborhood. He said, hey, if you guys want a TV, I can get you a TV. If you want a washing machine, I can get you a TV. And what he would do, he and my mom used to go to Dubai or Singapore, because these were free zones back in the day, So, and he would take the money from these people, load up his margin, buy the ticket, go there, have a beautiful holiday, bring these things and sell it back. Back in the day, he used to get it and sell it. And in addition to that, he would also get other stuff. My mom and dad used to get like soaps, talcum powder of Yardley, Lux soap, clothes, and in a small apartment, as a 5-year-old, I would be given the task of sticking the price and putting it on the bed and selling. And I used to observe this. And one day, my dad gave me a remote controlled car, with a wire. And he got it from me. He got it as a gift from me. How many of you love cars here? In those days, we didn't have wireless remote controlled cars. How many of you have played with remote controlled cars? Yeah, Manan has, Arav has, yeah. It's kind of fun, right? Johan, Tipani, Bihan, everybody has. Yeah, cool. So, Charmin Modi. So I used to play with these, but you kind of get bored, right? Everything new you get bored. That's life, right? You buy something new, after some time you get bored, isn't it? So you play a new video game, you get bored in some time. You buy a new toy, a new dress. After some time, it gets boring. So after some time, that's human nature. That's human nature. We always want more. We want, that's how it is, So I remember I played, it was a beautiful car I played with, but I got bored. So I went to my friends. I said, hey, I said, yeah, let me sell this. I was a 5-year-old guy. So I went to one of my friends and I would give it. I say, hey, you want to play with this? You want to test drive? So they would play it for 4-5 minutes and then I would take it from them. I said, there's so many kids. Everybody wants to play with this car. It's a beautiful car, but if you really want it, I can sell it to you. And I would quote a price, 3, 4, 5 times the price which my parents had purchased it for, because it was a rare commodity. You wouldn't get it. And most of the times, this kid, he ran to his parents. He would say, Papa, Mama, I really want this car. What do you think parents say when you really go? You say, Papa, Mama, I really want this car. I want the car Yogesh has. What do you think parents say? Parents love their kids, don't they? So he said, yeah, the parents said yes, and that's how I made my first sale. I sold this toy car, and then I would tell my parents, when you go to these places, get me more toy cars, get me more toys so I can start selling to the kids in the neighborhood. And I realized at the age of 5, when I made that first sale, I made money. I realized sales is such a beautiful process. My age doesn't matter, whether I'm 5, whether I'm 15, whether I'm 50, whether I'm 80. The second thing I realized, it doesn't matter whether I'm a guy, I'm a girl. My education doesn't matter whether I'm in the first grade or whether I've gone to Harvard. And, it's so democratic, Everybody can sell and it's a lot of fun, and I started making money and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the process. And then I shifted to school. I was born in Mumbai, in Bombay. I shifted to school to Tehran, in Iran. And in school, teachers had a complaint. They had 2 complaints. In fact, they would call my mom. You know what those 2 complaints were against me? Any teachers in the crowd today? I love teachers. I really love teachers. But those teachers, you're a teacher. I love teachers. I love teachers. I've had some great teachers. Love them. But they had 2 complaints. You know what those 2 complaints were? Can somebody guess what the complaints were? Let's see how creative you guys are. Okay. So they would call my parents, and the first complaint was, the number 1 complaint was, your son is always selling something or the other in school. So I used to love reading comics. I used to buy secondhand comics. I used to go all the time. I would take my bag. He says, your son is always selling something to the other kids. He's selling comics. He's selling his toys. Not staying in one place. Yeah, but that wasn't really a complaint. Exactly. I was always selling. Exactly, Arav. I'm always, Yogesh is selling all the time to the other kids. He's always selling something. And the second complaint was, your son's too talkative. He's talking in class. He's always talkative. He's always up to some mischief, But luckily for me, my mother, she said, that's a good skill. Sales is a good skill and communication is a good skill. And I'm grateful because today, those 2 skills have really helped me move ahead. The ability to convince people, the ability to persuade, the ability to influence people with your ideas and thoughts is a very powerful skill. You might be excellent, we hire people from all over the world. I visit IITs all over. But one skill I feel a lot of people is lacking, the ability to persuade, the ability to sell your ideas. You could be excellent at a technical skill, but if you can't convince the world, go ahead. And the second is communication. The ability to have no fear and communicate. People who don't have fear, who ask questions. You could be a 5-year-old, you should be free to question somebody who's 50. If you don't understand something, feel free to question. Get rid of your fear, guys, because fear is what holds you back. And that's something that really changed my life. And since then, so I used to always be selling, and I used to make the money and I used to invest the money. Because if you make your money work for you, you can get your money to work for you. You know how you can get your money? Can somebody guess how can you make money work for you? So first you got to make your money. How do you make money? Through your skills, through selling, through something. The second is you make that money work for you. There's so many ways we could make money, but this is a bit about me. I could keep going on and on, but I think we could, by working, you can, Johan Tibani, by working, okay? I'll tell you what I mean by making your money work for you. I'll give you an example. You guys want an example from my school days or from my later days? From my school days or later days? By working. Guys, don't copy each other. Both, okay, school, okay, Manan says school, Pratik says both, okay. I'll tell you both. I'll give you an example. What I mean by making. Johan says later days. Okay. In white. A class, an example, selling a cheaper black product and making it white and selling it for a higher price. Yeah, both. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, you could. I'll give you from my school days, for example. Yeah, I'll give you. So what I would do, a couple of things I would do, right? So for example, I remember this, I'll share this. In our school, we used to have these fairs. Your schools have these fairs, like these melas, PTA meetings where a lot of kids come, a lot of parents come. Do your schools have that? So what I did once, you have. Yeah, I think all schools have it. Wherever people gather, it's a beautiful place to make money. Okay? So what I would do is, I remember, I hired a stall. You could hire a stall. So I hired a stall. I invested in hiring a stall, and you had a jumping jack. That's nice, Johan. That's nice, Johan. So I hired a stall. And I set up a stand, and I wrote there, "Sir, please be bilingual." Okay. What do you mean by bilingual, Rishabh? Your English is too good. What is bilingual? What do you mean by that? You want me to speak in Hindi also? I don't know. I can speak in Hindi. Hindi mein baat kar sakte, but I don't know if everybody speaks Hindi. Because you have people from Malaysia, you have people from Dhaka, you have people from everywhere, right? But my English is simple. I don't think my English is so high level. But anyway, so I remember in school, we had a thing. So I remember I hired this place from the school. I had to pay them some rent. And I did a very simple thing. You're from Kuwait? Oh, from Kuwait City. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. Kuwait is a beautiful place. So I set up stall, and what I did is I decided I want to sell Nimbu Pani. Nimbu Pani is lemonade. So I said Indian lemonade. Oma, no, you're in Muscat, Mana. It's a beautiful place. Muscat is a nice place. You have some nice beaches. Kurong Beach in Muscat. But I like that beach. It's a nice beach. Are you near Kurong Beach by any chance? But anyway, I have a habit of talking, as I told you. My teachers would complain. You're near Kurong Beach. Yeah. You're from UP. That's great, Chavi. But anyway, I will not look at the chat. Let me continue. So I set up this thing, and I said, it's Indian lemonade, the Indian lemonade company, the healthier option. And instead of sugar, we were using jaggery. I said, we'll use jaggery. Good is it's not artificial, it's not processed, it's healthy. And we set up a stall. But when you do things, so I invested in that business, a small business. But when you do things, you also face challenges. This other kid in my school got in a bottle of Coca-Cola. That guy, smarter. He said it's easy. He bought a bottle of Coca-Cola, selling small cups of Coca-Cola, and he put his stall ahead of me. I said, if people drink Coca-Cola, they're not going to buy my lemonade, right? Because his stall is there. And it was hot. During summer, it gets hot. So when people enter, they see the first thing they buy. So I said, I have to do some advertising. So I told my sister, I wrote down, I gave her a paper, I gave her, and I wrote down, opt for the healthier option, the Indian lemonade company. Stall number. So I told her, go and stand ahead of the Coca-Cola stall, just hold that paper. So when people are tempted to buy that, Coca-Cola, just show them this, opt for the healthier option and direct, And that guy probably got pissed off. He probably got angry, but you got to do what you got to do. And people came, and I sold out. And if you convert in rupees, I might have invested around 5,000 rupees in that whole business. And I ended up making around 10,000 rupees out of that small business, So I made a 5,000 rupee gain, or which is 100% profit, by investing in that business. And these are some of the small things you could do, You could buy stuff, you could trade stuff. That's what I would do when I was back in school. So I was constantly looking for such opportunities. I would buy things in bulk. I would buy comics in bulk. I would buy stuff in bulk, I would go to the main market, So I was like a 12-year-old. I used to go to the main market. I used to buy products in bulk, bring it, sell it, So those are some of the things you can do. You can use your money. You can invest. You can make money, You want to, should we take some question answers maybe? Or no, somebody says, what did you do, elder? Yeah, and somebody said both, right? Okay, I'll tell you something which you could do as you grow older. And I believe everybody teaches us. Remember that everybody teaches us. We learn all the time. Q1, please. What is Q1, Johan? You want to ask? Type your questions, guys, in the chat. If you have questions, type it in the chat. Keep typing the questions in the chat. You can make your money work for you by investing. Yeah, you can do that too, Arav. I'll share some of those examples too. For example, I remember I was in college, and I was going in the auto. And so growing up, when we were kids, we couldn't afford the auto. We would take the bus only if it was like 5-6 kilometers away. And as I told you, I'm lucky I had those experiences. Because if I was given everything on a platter, I wouldn't use my mind. I see a lot of parents do that. Don't do that. Make your kids smart. Like my son, when he was 3 years old, he sold gobar rakis. There were some rakis kept in our building made out of gobar. Gobar is cow dung, and he sold those. He just went door to door. He says, hey, do you want rakis? Do you want rakis? Do you want rakis? Not everybody told him yes. And that's the beauty. You got to learn to face rejection. Not everybody's going to tell you yes, right? Not everybody is supposed to tell you yes. So teaching kids, to face that rejection. It's okay. So what if somebody told you no? Who cares? Move on to the next person. Yeah? People reject me all the time. I don't care. Move on. There's 7 billion people on the planet. You don't want 7 billion people to buy your product. So what? Not everybody loves me. So what? People hate me. So what? As long as I'm doing what I love, as long as I'm honest to myself, I'm true to myself, enjoy what you're doing. Considering the newer industry, what would be a new way to make money online? Ikhlas. Okay. Good. Ikhlas, there's so many ways to make money online. You can sell digital products. You could create a product if you have talent. You could create a digital product. Sell it online. You could create a course. You could sell it online. You could use your marketing skills. You can make web pages. A lot of old school businesses don't understand digital. So you could go to somebody who's 50 who has an old school business, like a restaurant, or maybe runs like a lot of people have a home, like an Airbnb. You could do the marketing online for them. You could create their web page, because that's what I tell people. Don't think just because you're 10 years old or 8 years old or 6 years old you can't do stuff. I know people who are like 8 years old who can do stuff, better than somebody who's 50. So use your skills. So reach out to people. Yeah, you want to make websites, reach out to businesses, write them an email. Hey, say, hi, I am Ikhlas. I run a web design company. I would love to make a web page for you. If you reach out to 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 50 people, you will get one person to say yes to you. And you just need that one person to start off your business. And you could do this on the side. A lot of times, I remember when I was in school, my family, my extended family, they would say, Yogesh, focus only on studies right now. Don't do all this, But that's a big mistake. That's a big mistake they would do. Because if you focus only on your studies, this is real world learning. In fact, all these things help me in my studies. They really help me in my studies, You can make a store. You can make websites. You can do so many things, Start out with one thing. So figure out what is it that you love, because when you start out with one thing, figure out what you love. Like I would love comics, I would sell comics. I would love sneakers, I would sell sneakers. I would trade in them, So figure whatever you love, because you will face challenges, you will face rejection, but start out with what you love. So if you love making websites, make a website of your own. Say, hey, this is a website I made of my own. I'm Ikhlas Moeen. This is the type of websites I do. And you see, since you're young, people will be surprised when you reach out to them, People will be surprised, because you're 11, you're 12, you're 13. When you reach out to them, they'll be surprised. And go ahead and give them the best. You can make and sell games. Games is a bigger industry than movies, Games is a bigger industry than movies, that. You could make games. Yeah, you could make games. You could sell games. You could design games. You could write the stories for games. You could do so many things, We don't live, I remember, growing up, people would say you can only become an engineer, doctor, or lawyer. That's not the case. I didn't become any of those things. That's not the case. The world is changing, guys. Do what you. That's amazing, Johan. You made 2 games from scratch. That's beautiful. Go out and sell those games. Go out and sell those games, Go out and sell those games. Have fun with it, Because if you have fun with what you're doing, you'll move it. And remember, sales is a very powerful skill. Invest in the ability to sell. That's very important, because if you make money only when you sell something, right? How does Apple make money? How does Apple? I got to put my charger, so I'm saying Apple. You know. Okay, yeah, you can make games from scratch. Absolutely, you can sell just even if you don't know to, let's say you don't know to make games, or you don't know to make websites. Let's say somebody who knows to make games and websites and they're terrible at selling. You could tie up with them. Say, I'm going to sell. You do the website. I'm going to do the sales. Steve Jobs, he wasn't a coder. Steve Jobs was a marketing and sales guy. He didn't design, he didn't code, right? He loved design, but it was Steve Wozniak who did all of that. This guy just came and sold the stuff. 1 second, guys. Let me put it on the charger. Now it's charging. Yeah, it's right. Okay, good. But I don't know. Okay, by selling products, you don't know you're a beginner, Johan. Johan is a beginner. Okay. Take anything. Okay. Take anything, Johan. Take anything. Take the simplest thing. I want you to do this. Okay. I want all of you today, right? You remember you told me you're going to commit to taking action. Are you guys ready to make the first commitment to taking action? Are you guys ready? Okay. You ready? Okay. Now, what I'm going to tell you, not everybody will be able to do it. Not everybody will be able to do it. And that's why not everybody succeeds, right? Not everybody succeeds. Not everybody reaches the top, because not everybody is willing to do what it takes, right? The first thing I want you to do is right today, sell something. Sell absolutely anything. Anything I want you to sell. You could sell it on OLX. OLX is like your, like in India, you have OLX, like Craigslist. Every country has it, So sell something. Take a snap of something, sell it. Go door to door in your building, in your area. Take a product, go door to door, sell it. If you can sell one thing, so you could either take any product in your house, Tell your mom to make some cookies. Tell your dad to make some cookies, design a painting, anything, draw something, anything. It doesn't matter what the product is. Go door to door and sell one thing today. Ring your neighbors. Write this down. Write this down. It's very powerful. Ring your neighbors. Ring people's doorbells. Because if you can ring people's doorbells, you will move ahead in life. Because you have to knock on doors. You want to get a job, you want to do something, you want to get an investor in your business, you want to sell your video game idea, you got to knock doors. What do I mean by knock doors? You have to write emails to EA Sports. You have to write emails to the biggest game companies, right? To sell your game. They're not going to find you if you're sitting in your thing. Whatever you want to do, whatever you're going to do. If you learn to sell today, and I want all of you to do this today. If you have to ring 100 doorbells, ring 100 doorbells. It's only afternoon now. You have the whole Sunday. Go and sell one product. Just sell one product, And you know what happens when you sell one product? You get a high. You feel tempted to sell more. Yeah. Any parents here? Are you guys going to let your kids sell? Are you guys going to let your kids sell? How many kids here are going to do this today? Write it down. Say, yes, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to be brave and I'm going to do this today. Write it down. Who's going to sell? And this is what I want to do. Once you sell it, tag me on social media. If you're on Instagram, it's Happionaire. If you write Yogesh Chabria on Google, you'll get me. Take a snap of the money you made. Say, I sold it. One lucky person gets a gift from me. You're on Instagram, tag me on Instagram. You'll sell. Okay, so go out, sell it. Take a snap, make a story, whatever. Because I'll tell you, you'll remember this day for the rest of your life. Your entire life is going to change if you realize the power of selling. Number one. This is number one thing you got to do. You got to learn to sell. Even if you become an engineer, how many of you know Edison? How many of you know Edison, Thomas Edison? How many of you know Nikola Tesla? Who was the greatest scientist, Edison or Tesla? You know both. You know both of them. Who was a greater scientist, Edison or Tesla? Tesla was a greater scientist than Edison. Tesla was a greater scientist. But do you know what happened to Tesla? He died alone in a room in poverty. He was alone. He had no money. He died. Because Edison knew how to market and sell. Edison knew how to market and sell. Yeah. So do you want to be Edison or do you want to be Tesla? It's up to you. And, look at the world the way things are. I would love it if your product sold just on its own. I would love it if Tesla's product sold on its own. But the thing is, That's not how it works. I'm telling you the reality of life, guys. I'm telling you the reality of life. There's so many people with good skills. They're hardworking. They're really nice, but they can't move ahead because they don't know to convince people. It happens all the time, and that's why I want you to start selling. I want you to start selling. And now, so that's the first thing. What are you typing with, Jan? ESTRFO. What's that? What's that? I can't understand. What code language are you typing? So first thing, number one, we got to sell. I'll tell you number 2 and 3 also. You guys want to ask some questions in the meantime? You could type it in the chat. I'm going to take some questions, right? In the chat, ask any question you want, right? So all of you who said you're going to sell, go and sell it today. And take a snap, tag me. My ID on Instagram is Happionaire. Tag me, one person gets it. It's okay, mistakes happen. That's perfectly fine. Number 1 is to sell. The second thing you got to do, once you sell and you start making money, right? You start making money, right? What do I mean? Make your money work for you. What do I mean? Make your money work for you. I'll tell you an example. Making your money work for you means it's Happionaire, guys. My Instagram ID is Happionaire, Happionaire. Or Johan, you just Google Yogesh Chabria, you'll get all my IDs. You'll get Google, you'll get YouTube, you'll get Amazon, you'll get everything, right? But my Instagram is Happionaire. So here's the second thing you have. Let's say you make money. Today you said, you make 100 rupees, you make 500 rupees, you make 5 dirham, you make 10 Omani Riyal, you make, whatever. You make whatever, you make the ringgit, you make whatever currency, all currencies are beautiful. I love all currencies. So you make money. Now with that money, start investing in things. Start realizing the power of investing. What do I mean by investing? Okay. For example, I remember I was going in the auto, and I started speaking to the auto driver. I was speaking to him. So I said, what do you do? In Hindi, I spoke to him. Kya karte ho aap? Kya karte ho aap? What do you do? He says, I drive the auto. I said, what else do you do? So he says, in addition to driving the auto, I have bought 2 properties on the outskirts of Bombay in a location called Mira Road. I said, how did you buy it? I was around 16 that time. I said, how did you fund that property? He says, I took a loan from the bank and I've given that property on rent. So whatever money comes from the rent pays off the loan in the bank. So I said, but you don't make any money because the rent comes and it pays off the bank loan. He said, yeah, I don't make any money now. But after 10 years, this property would have paid for itself. That means the rent would have paid off the loan. And then that property is mine. And after 10 years, the property would have appreciated. And then, irrespective of whether I drive this auto or not, those 2 properties are constantly giving me money. Inflation means prices keep rising. And the reason prices keep rising is because the government keeps printing money. They keep printing money. Ask your parents, how much did an apple cost when they were kids? It was probably 10% of the price it costs today. And inflation makes money disappear because as things rise, the value of your money goes down. So you need to invest in assets that appreciate with inflation. So this guy taught me more than what my economics teacher taught me. I realized I got to have some properties that give me rent. No matter what I'm doing, they got to work. Even when I'm sleeping, these properties got to give me rent. Simple thing. This is called a passive income. It's not exactly passive because you have to take care of the property, but it's got only 5% effort. 95% of the thing is almost automated. So no matter if I'm speaking to you, the property is giving me rent. I'm sleeping, I'm going on a holiday, that property is giving me rent. Isn't that so? There are many songs. You could create an intellectual property. So I wrote this book, Happionaire's Money Game, right? It's a book on financial literacy for kids. Whether I'm here or no, this asset is working for me. It's helping people, but at the same time, every time people buy this book, it's published by CNBC, I get a royalty. You design a game, you sell the rights, royalty. So those are sorts of passive incomes, You got to focus on creating something that way too. Because if you only trade your time for money, you're limited by time, right? But if you create something like that, there's so many things, there's so many things you could do. You have property, you have so many assets, many of you are into game designing, I could figure that out. If you design a game and sell the rights, you sell the rights to, for example, EA Sports or any of these big, game developers, big game developers, you get the right. Even if you write a story, you write a movie, you write a song, if you create a song, you get royalty on the song. So many things, you create a course, Buying gold is gold has always been a good hedge. It's a good investment. Yeah, gold appreciates over time, but gold doesn't give you cash flow. I like, gold doesn't give you cash flow. So gold appreciates, but it doesn't give you a cash flow, right? So gold is good. I invest in gold. But if something that gives you a cash flow, simple. Let's say some of you might be saying, Yogesh, I am just 14 years old. I don't have that much money to buy a property. There's so many things. Buy a vending machine. What if you bought a vending machine? A small vending machine and put it in a place. You put it in a supermarket, put it in some place, a small vending machine. What about that? Can you think about that? Warren Buffett, like one of the richest investors in the world, the richest, he started off with vending machines. He set up vending machines, So many things, You could, what about rent a cycle? You don't have a lot of money today. You make some money. You work for a month, you make some money, rent a cycle business. Start buying cycles, give it on rent. Some of you might already have a cycle, Put it up online, give it on rent. Can you think of such ideas? So many things, there's a vast array of things, If you have a lot of books, start a small library in your bedroom. How's that? Everybody pays you a fee. Every month they pay you a small fee. They come and read your books. Start a toy library. If you've grown old, you're 13, 14 years old, you have toys from your childhood, rent out those toys. Kids are always being born. Tell parents, why do you want to buy expensive toys? I have so many beautiful toys. Can you think of all these beautiful ideas? Can you imagine what all you could do with your mind? Wouldn't it be amazing if you started doing all these things? Yeah? Yes or no? You got to type it in the chat. Say yes, because I can't hear you. Everything around your house. Yeah, I like that, class. Yeah, Johan, I like that. Look around your house. Everything is an opportunity. Everything, my weakest subject was maths. I used to suck at maths, But which subject I gave tuitions in? I gave tuitions in maths. I did not take tuitions. I gave tuitions in maths. Because when you teach something, you have to work it better. So when I was in 11th grade, I used to give tuitions in maths, and maths was my weakest subject. Because to give tuitions, I have to practice more, So I've never taken tuitions in my life, I always thought I can learn better on my own. I stood first in the 10th grade. Again, lots of strategies. We don't have time to go into all those strategies and techniques today. We are almost out of time. But everything around you, you can use it. Any questions, guys? You guys want to ask any questions? I told you one thing to do till now, which is sell. I'll tell you the second thing. The second thing which you got to do is invest in something. Invest in something. Invest in something. As I told you, invest in a cycle business, invest in a comic business, invest in a toy business, because you will realize how money works. A lot of times adults don't know how money works, Adults I know are struggling with money. Because they were never taught about it. They never experimented with it. They're so afraid. Invest your money. And even if you lose your money, so what? Even if you lose it, let's say you start a business, it doesn't work out. So what? What's the big deal? Go and sell more stuff, right? Go again and sell, right? Today, make it a point. Every day you're going to sell for half an hour. You're going to knock doors, sell stuff. Every day for half an hour. Imagine the type of muscle you'll build up. Imagine the type of mental strength you'll build up. Imagine how you'll value money. You'll say, I'm not going to buy that stupid thing, I'm not going to buy that stupid pair of shoes just because it has a logo for 10 times the price. I know where it's manufactured. You start thinking differently. You start thinking differently about things. When you understand business, you start thinking differently. When you understand money, you start thinking differently. So the second thing is invest money in some sort of asset. You guys are young, you're just starting out. So invest in a small business. Invest in a small business. You can take help from your friends too. And look around you. There's so many small businesses you can start. Solve people's problems. Solve people's problems. If you can solve people's problems, you can help them out. If you can solve people's problems, you can really help them out. You can add value to their life. So are you going to do this? Are you guys? So first thing, sell. Second thing is, are you going to start something which is where you invest your money? So whatever you make, don't go out. So if you buy a t-shirt or if you buy a car, it depreciates. If you buy a t-shirt in 6 months, in 1 year, it spoils, you throw it away. But if you invest that money in an asset, that makes money for you. I told you some of the examples. You could start a toy library, you could start a book library, you could rent out your bicycle, so many things. Right? You'll have more ideas. You can, if you have a skill, if you're good at dance, start teaching dance at home. If you're good at making stuff out of clay, design stuff out of clay and sell it. If you can make pots, if you can paint, so many things you guys can do, right? Second thing that, right? And the third thing, we'll play a game, okay? Everybody close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes, okay? Close your eyes. I like how you close your eyes. Okay. Just relax. Just relax. Now, when I tell you to open your eyes and look at everything red around your room. Okay. Open your eyes and look for everything red around your room. Count how many red things are around you. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Fast. Open your eyes. Everybody, look for everything red. Let's see. Count all the red things. Red, 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 red. What is red? Red. And open your eyes and look for everything red, red, red. Count them. Let's see how many red things you count. Now close your eyes fast. Now close your eyes. Okay. Now close your eyes, everybody. Did you count all the red things? Yeah, you counted. Now tell me everything that's blue in your room. I can guarantee you don't know anything blue. Now open your eyes, and the reason this happens, I'll tell you. Now you will see everything blue. Now you'll see everything blue. I know, now you'll see everything blue. And the reason this happens is because whatever you focus on, you get. Because our brain, we have something known as the RAS. Write this down, RAS. The RAS is your reticular activating system. Yeah, you remember red, Arav, because you focused on red. But if you focus on blue, I said, find everything blue, you wouldn't know. Afterwards, right? Come on, Arav, come on, I know. You didn't know the blue when your eyes were closed. Come on, don't joke around. But when you look at it, you find the blue. What I'm trying to say is whatever you focus on, you get. There's something known as the RAS. It's called the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system focuses on whatever you want. So let's say you want to buy a new toy. You want to buy a new bicycle. Suddenly you start noticing it around. For the adults, you want to buy a new mobile. You want to buy a new car. Suddenly you start noticing it around. Isn't that so? When you want something, you start noticing it around. Your RAS can work to your advantage or to your disadvantage. If you focus on positive, if you focus on things that help you grow, you will start seeing it there. So for example, when I was in school, I was thinking about sales. I was thinking about making money. Everywhere my mind was going, I was thinking that. The same opportunities were available to everybody. Let me tell you, the same opportunities are available to everybody. It's what you focus on. I still use this technology. This is a great book if you guys want to check out. There's also another book I've written called Succeed the Happionaire Way. Succeed the Happionaire Way. Check this out. Check out what Khazina is saying. My grandfather had invested in a big property and now he's no more. And my mom and her siblings getting the rental even today. That's true. That's so simple. That's what it is. Even your grandfather was a great man. He did a wise thing. He invested in something and you get the rentals, right? Right? It's so simple. I don't understand why school and college never teach this to people. You got to teach these things to people because these things are powerful. These things are powerful. Yeah? So what I want you to do is write down a goal. Because if you write down your goals, they become real. Write down your goal, right? Write down whatever you want to do in your life. Write it down. Today, now, write down your goal. It could be any goal. It could be health goals. It could be. And every night before sleeping, read your goal. Every morning when you get up, read your goal. And stick your goal to your mirror. You know, if you brush your teeth, stick it to your mirror. If you guys use a mobile, make it your screensaver. Make your goal your screensaver. Every time you look at your screensaver, every time before going to bed, every time you brush your teeth, you look at your goal. And your goals could be simple. Today, your goal could be, I want to sell. I want to make money. Anything else you want to do. I want to become an artist. I want to become an engineer. I want to become a doctor. I want to become a scientist. Anything. As I told you, every human being is unique. Every human being is unique. And you got to do what you're meant to do. I believe there's a divine force. Somebody might call the force Allah. Somebody might call it Krishna. Somebody might call it Jesus. Somebody might call it Guru Nanak. Somebody might call it Moses. It's one force. It's one force. We call this hand in English, right? We call it haath in Hindi. We call it dust, in Persian. We call it main in French. In different in Arabic, you call it something else, but it's still the same hand. It's the same. I believe we are all one. Humanity is one, Human beings, we are one. We are made out of the same. We are one creation. I believe we are one creation. And that, whatever, I love that. I love that, Johan. Show me what have you written. Show me, Johan. I love that. Take a screenshot of this. I want to be a rich engineer. I like that. I like that, Johan. Take a snapshot and tag me on social media, Johan. I love what you wrote. I want to be a rich engineer. And again, I say rich in every way. Rich in health, rich in love, rich in respect, rich in human relationships, rich in warmth. And one thing, guys, be honest. Be honest about life. A lot of times people think to make money, you got to be dishonest. No. If you're dishonest, you'll end up in jail. If you cheat people, you'll end up in jail. There was this company, they wanted my expertise, they're builders in Mumbai. They said, Yogesh, we want you to train our team, they do around $2 billion every year in sales, $2 billion. He says, we want your expertise, we love how you convince people. Come on board, convince our people. I said, no, I can't do it because, I just don't want to. And the reason is because I knew they were not honest. They would sell the same property to 4 people. They said, we'll give you $500,000. I said, no. They said, we'll give you $1 million. I said, no. They said, we'll give you $2 million. I said, no. I can't work with you guys, And today, I'm happy I didn't work with them because I don't want to give these skills to somebody who's going to sell the same property to 4 people. Today, this guy is in jail. You might have read about him. This guy is in jail. This guy is in jail. The guy is 40, but he's 60. He's become obese. He's got heart problems. He's got all these issues. You can be free when you're honest. Be honest about it. Be ethical about it, It's beautiful when you're ethical. You tell the person, this is what it is. This is what it is. Gonna have a lot of fun with it, guys. Deep Malasha, how do I realize marketing ethic? How do I realize marketing ethic? Treat everybody the way you would like to be treated. How would you treat your own brother? How would you treat your own mother? How would you treat your own father? How would you treat your own sister? How would you treat your own grandparents? Would you lie to them? Would you cheat them? No, you wouldn't. How would you treat your lover? Somebody you really love. Treat everybody that way, And it's okay. I tell people, not everybody has to be your customer. You don't have to work with everybody, right? Yeah, ethics take you a long way. Yeah. If you're ethical, you don't have to hide your face. If you cheat somebody, you have to hide your face. You don't feel happy inside. You get fear within you. You have to hide, you become a chicken. Don't be a chicken, Be bold. Go out there, That's what you got to do. And have no fear, guys. Fear is what stops all of you. Fear is what stops all of you. I remember I shifted schools. The first thing I did, there was a bully in school. The first thing I did, I went and picked a fight with the bully. I'm not a bully, but I wanted to. I'm not a very well-built guy. I said, what do you want to do? What's the worst you can do to me? You can hit me. You can hit me, but I can hit you back too. I looked him in the eye. I said, you can hit me, but I can hit you back. You might bruise me, but I'll also hit you. So don't mess with me. That's the first thing I did. And you know what happened? That bully never messed with me. Never. He got scared of me because he thought I'm crazy. That's what you got to do. Don't worry if people make fun of you. Don't worry about anything. Anywhere, you go anywhere, that's the first thing you do. You're afraid. I was afraid. A part of me was afraid. But I said, no, you got to face that fear. You can't live in fear. You got to face that fear. That's how you live freely. Because, once I did a big sale for a cause, my mom made chicken say, give money to charity. Beautiful. You give it to charity. That's also beautiful, right? You got to give 5-10% of your money to charity. Everybody says that, the greatest teachers, the greatest religions, everybody says, share 5-10%. Start off, give it, Give, today I'm sharing this, right? You go and share this, whatever you learn, share it out with people out there. Share it out, have fun with it. Great, guys. Before we end, how was the session? How did you enjoy today? How did you like it? Type it in the chat. What did you feel? What was your experience? Do you think your life's gonna change after this session? Type it out in the chat. I had a lot of fun. Yes, Johan. Okay. I liked what you wrote, Johan. Life actually changed. That's beautiful. Absolutely. Now, just what I want to do. That's what I want to tell you. That's good. That's so nice to know. The thing is, what you did today, you got to make this a lifelong habit. Because it's like exercise. If you exercise once, things don't change. You got to make this a lifelong habit. That's how everything changes. So I want you to commit to continuously learning. Something or the other, learning and implementing that learning. Don't just learn, implement that learning. Exactly. I'm hungry. The problem is people who are only into academics. I know people, once college ends, they throw their books away. They said, learning is over. That's not the case. Lifelong learning, or even now I'm learning, constantly reading, learning, trying out new things. I want you to keep learning. Make this a habit. Every day, we have our programs, we have things. You have so many books out there. You have Swiflearn. So much is there out there to learn. Make it a habit to learn and implement. Learn and implement. Learn and implement. And what you do with your time today will change your future. What you do with your time today will change your entire future. I am no genius. I'm not born with special genetic abilities. My parents are not, connected. It's just my hunger and thirst for learning, having no fear and having fun with it. So great, guys. I love all of you. I had a lot of fun. You could connect with me on social media. You could take a snap of this, share your experience, spread the word out. Welcome to our Happionaire family. We have a lot of fun. We meet in real. We do a lot of things. So check it out. Thank you very much, guys. Lots of love to you. It's beautiful, Johan. You made 200 rupees. That's beautiful. Excellent. That's beautiful, Johan. Excellent. Excellent.
Yogesh, if I may just take a couple of minutes, it's been a wonderful session. I think like generally there is, the way we do this is we have some questions which I often pose, but I think it was just so great the way you were pulling the whole thing together. I didn't feel the need to ask any question. And I think one thing that I really liked, oftentimes when people talk to kids about money, it is about restraint. It is about frugality, that you got to do this, you got to save because it's great. But you talked about a lot of active things that, hey, let's go out there and let's start making money by selling things that, we love around us, by starting to invest. And then, I mean, through virtue of that, you end up anyway realizing that, you want to be frugal in life because there are all these great things that you would rather be doing instead. So I think, that was wonderful. And, I hope I hope to see a lot of kids actually going out there and, doing the one thing that we have all promised to Johan, that we will go out there and maybe, we do it online, but we will sell something. And hey, Johan, if I can request you, if you can hold your placard once again close to the camera, and I would like to take a screenshot. And also the rest of the kids, if you can all put your video feed on. Yes, that's wonderful.
Thank you, Ayush. I think what is money? You gotta experience life, right? So even when I would make, like Johan has made 250 rupees, yeah, go and buy a book. Go and invest it in a book. Any book. Whichever book you wanna take. Take Happionaire's Money Game, for example. I think they sell it for 150 rupees. Because if you invest things, you see, money doesn't do anything sitting in the bank. You got to invest. So I would always invest in learning. I love reading books. I would go to courses. I would invest in programs because I knew if I invest in that, I could learn. And the second is in experiences. All these beautiful countries, Bangladesh, Oman, Kuwait, all these countries, I have traveled to these countries because I love to experience life, experience the world, So I might not buy something just because it has a logo. It doesn't mean anything to me, but I want to experience the world. The reason you have money is so you can experience life. You can make things comfortable for your loved ones, for somebody said for their grandparents. Money does nothing if it's just sitting in the bank. You gotta make use of it. There's something known as the velocity of money. If you have 250 rupees, Johan, and you spend it once, you spend that 250 rupees, that 250 rupees becomes 480 rupees. Let's say you buy this book, right? I'm selling you this book, for example. Let's say you buy this book. This book is for 150 rupees. The publisher makes money, everybody makes money, and you get knowledge. Now that person will sell it to somebody else. And the more people spend money, on useful things or whatever, the more the economy grows. If everybody held back money, you wouldn't have growth. So, have the most of it. And yeah, my views are a little different. What's our friend saying? What does it say? I want to be successful. Development in that helps the world. I want to be. Can you type it out? You have a beautiful handwriting, but type it out, Ikhlas. Type it out, Ikhlas, so we can read it. Yeah. But there's so much I would love to share. But this is all we could do for today. So hopefully see you guys soon. Have a lot of fun and bless you. God bless all of you. Take care. Enjoy your Sunday, guys. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Yogesh. And also in the spirit of continuously learning more about this topic, we also have the money game on the Swiflearn website, which all of you can start playing. It's a great way for you to experiment. All you need to do is just sign up, and let me just show you perhaps on the screen, right, all the things that you can do on it. So just a second. Yeah. And
And guys, parents, go ahead, sign up right now. Go ahead. What's the worst that could happen? Just go ahead, sign up right now. Have that playful attitude in life. I love what you wrote in class. I love what you wrote. You want to be an indie developer. Amazing. That's okay. Okay, guys, I think the screen has frozen, but thank you very much. Take care. Best of luck. See you. I think the screen froze, but he will be back. But I had to rush. So thank you very much. See you guys. Love you. Take care. Thank you.